A single block of metal the size of a soda can contains enough raw explosive energy to power a sprawling metropolis for decades or instantly erase it in a blinding flash of nuclear fire. Welcome to the terrifying and infinitely powerful realm of element 92. Sitting deep in the actinide series, uranium is a heavy, silvery white and highly toxic metal with an atomic weight of exactly 238.002891 GI mole and a melting point of 1405.3 Kelvin or 1132.2 degrees Celsius. But what makes this element the absolute apex of global geopolitics is not just its density. It is its profound instability. Uranium is naturally radioactive, and in a finely divided state it is dangerously pyrophoric, meaning it can ignite spontaneously in the air. Today, the world's most powerful nations are locked in a silent, multi-billion-dollar war to control the exact locations where this metallic beast slumbers beneath the Earth's crust. To understand the global obsession, you must understand the isotope. Raw uranium straight from the Earth is predominantly uranium-238, but the true prize is uranium-235. This incredibly rare isotope is the only naturally occurring fissile material on the planet. It is the lifeblood of modern civilization, used as the primary fuel to sustain controlled chain reactions in nuclear power plants, and as the devastating core of nuclear weapons. But the geopolitical utility doesn't end there. The leftover material from enrichment, known as depleted uranium, is so incredibly dense that the world's leading militaries use it to forge impenetrable armor for their main battle tanks and to craft armor-piercing artillery shells that can tear through solid steel like paper. Before we expose the shadow empires controlling this trade, we need you on our side. Hit that subscribe button for Rorom Anime Atlas Tour right now, so we can keep bringing you the most heavily researched geopolitical deep dives on the internet. There is a massive misconception that uranium is extremely rare. The truth is much more complicated. Element 92 is actually ubiquitous. It is present in small quantities in rocks, soil, rivers, the oceans, and even in microscopic trace amounts within the tissues of plants and animals. You are surrounded by it right now. The real challenge, and the reason it is worth billions, is finding it in concentrations high enough to make extraction economically viable. Creating a commercial uranium mine requires locating geological anomalies where ancient tectonic movements and primordial waters concentrated the metal over millions of years. These high-grade deposits are the modern-day gold mines, and whoever controls them dictates the global energy grid. Ripping this radioactive poison out of the earth is an industrial marvel. While traditional open pit and deep underground mining were the historical norms, the 21st century is dominated by in-situ leaching, ISL. Instead of moving millions of tons of radioactive rock, massive industrial complexes pump highly engineered chemical solutions deep underground directly into the ore body. The solution dissolves the uranium while it is still in the earth, and the resulting radioactive liquid is then pumped back up to the surface for processing into a concentrated powder known as yellow cake. It is highly efficient, heavily automated, and requires massive upfront capital, shutting out small players and leaving the industry in the hands of mega-corporations and state-sponsored entities. When you look at the global map of uranium production, one nation holds an absolute staggering monopoly. Kazakhstan is the undisputed king of element 92. Rising from the ashes of the Soviet Union, this Central Asian powerhouse transformed its desolate steppes into the ultimate mining machine. Through its massive state-owned enterprise, Kazakhstan single-handedly produces well over 40% of the world's total uranium supply. Starting its massive acceleration in the early 2000s, by 2009, it had officially overtaken Canada as the top producer. Today, if Kazakhstan were to suddenly shut down its ISL pumps, the global nuclear energy grid would face a catastrophic fuel shortage within months. But current production does not equal total control. The sleeping giant of the uranium world is Australia. Beneath its sun-scorched outback, Australia harbors nearly 30% of the planet's total known recoverable uranium resources. The crown jewel of this geological lottery is the Olympic Dam mine in South Australia, a gargantuan multi-mineral complex that holds the world's largest single deposit of uranium. Meanwhile, Canada holds the title for the most extreme and high-grade uranium on Earth. In the Athabasca Basin of Saskatchewan, the ore is so incredibly pure, and therefore so lethally radioactive, that human miners cannot go near it. Companies there must use remote-controlled robotics and freeze the surrounding groundwater just to extract the rock without irradiating their workforce. Yet mining the yellow cake is only the first stage of a brutal global supply chain. Raw uranium is essentially useless. It must be converted into a gas and then enriched in massive high-tech centrifuge facilities to isolate the U-235 isotope. This is where the global market hits a terrifying choke point. Historically, Russia, through its state nuclear corporation Rosatom, has controlled nearly 45% of the world's uranium conversion and enrichment capacity. For decades, the West comfortably outsourced this complex, expensive process to Moscow. The resulting dynamic created an invisible chain, linking American and European nuclear reactors directly to Russian industrial complexes, setting the stage for one of the most severe energy crises of our time. To truly understand how this leverage shapes world events, you must subscribe to our Anime Atlas tour and ring the notification bell, because our next investigations will expose exactly how these supply chains are weaponized. The financial stakes surrounding Element 92 are absolutely astronomical, and the market is famously volatile. In 2007, uranium hit a staggering all-time high of nearly 136 per pound. But history changed on March 11, 2011. With the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster, Japan shut down its reactors, the world panicked, and the price of uranium collapsed into a brutal decade-long bear market, bottoming out near $18 a pound by 2016. However, the tide has aggressively turned, driven by a massive global energy crisis and the realization that wind and solar cannot provide constant baseload power. The market exploded. By early 2024, spot uranium prices shattered the $100 per pound threshold once again. Billions of dollars of institutional capital are now flooding back into the sector, triggering a new atomic gold rush. This financial boom is deeply tied to a massive geopolitical realignment. In May 2024, the United States signed the Prohibiting Russian Uranium Imports Act into law, an aggressive move to sever its multi-billion-dollar dependency on Moscow's enrichment facilities. Washington and Europe are now desperately scrambling to resurrect their own domestic nuclear supply chains. Simultaneously, China is executing a terrifyingly ambitious nuclear expansion, aiming to build over 150 new reactors in the next 15 years, more than the rest of the world combined has built in the last 3 decades. To secure fuel for this empire, state-backed Chinese entities are aggressively buying up massive uranium stakes across Africa, specifically monopolizing major mines in Namibia and Niger. We have officially entered the global nuclear renaissance. The world's energy demands are skyrocketing with the rise of AI data centers and electric vehicles, and Element 92 is the only entity capable of satisfying that hunger without carbon emissions. The nations that secure the physical ore, master the enrichment technology, and dictate the global trade routes will wield supreme economic power over the rest of the 21st century. The atomic age is not a relic of the Cold War, it is the definitive battlefield of tomorrow. Thank you for watching this deep dive. If you want to survive and thrive by understanding the true mechanics of global power, your final mission is to subscribe to Anime Atlas Tour, leave a like, and share this video. The world is changing faster than ever, and we will be here to map it out for you.